I've never. The outrageous game of truth might not be appropriate for many reasons. You don't want to uncover secret mistakes. So, truth or dare, I guess, that sort of thing. Well, not really dare, right? But for people who don't want to have people think, oh, why'd you axe that? Or maybe some things, people aren't good at working things up towards it or whatever. So it says on the thing that basically it's not exploitive. People are supposed to have fun. But there's more consequences if you skip over something. So we have growth, energy, and the context or the connection. So we have a six-sided card. So 2. Well, when it comes to dance, one of the things that we come across with that is that there are symbolic dances, and it does make a difference what type of dance you're doing. There's preset devotional movements. People, there's like a finger dance thing where you're actually spelling out letters, and it may not be as random as people think. Because, like, the ohms, they have 1 to 5, and there's one side or the other side, and then there's the tilt, and then there's the one with the other, so you end up with like 25 letters as a rule. And so I've never been bitten by a dog. Okay, well, typically that's has nothing to do with you. I don't think I've ever been bitten by a dog. Who does that, or does that to anyone? But of course, there's the difference to people who you can't get a hold of because they're hard of hearing or whatever. But in general, if you're not aware of an issue like that, give an hour or so in between calling people and that sort of thing. I don't know what the right social rule is, but here we have, as I'm about to record this, we start into the dark quarter. We reach the solstice. Then we get into the warming quarter. And then we'll have the vernal equinox. And then we get into the bright quarter. And then we have the summer solstice. And then we get into the cooling quarter. I'm talking the northern hemisphere. It's about as cold as it's going to get, and then it warms up, about as warm as it's going to get, and then it cools down. And then you have the fall equinox in between. It wasn't as universal that the Celtic New Year was here or the Norse New Year was here, but those are the general assumptions. And not even as a Latter-day Saint did I have that one. I've never had a nickname. I'm sure I've had good and bad nicknames. I've never gone 3 days without showering. It's like, well, most of that's cleaning up after yourself. I've never done the splits. I don't think I've ever been able to. I've never burped loudly in class. It's like, well, there's, you know, I guess there's people who can do that sort of thing on purpose and all that, but I've never been one of those. I've never put 25 Skittles on my mouth at one time, and always thought that was stupid and pointless, so I wasn't going to. And I know some of the things that people get thinking when women do things like that. I've never burned a cake while baking. I've run into well, I don't know if I have, but I've run into issues with stoves that I've had to deal with.